in the co-main event, we have finally found a bet for you guys. And it's one we both really, really, really like. Ovince St. Preux is a plus 115 underdog versus Alonzo Menifield at minus 135. Ovince St. Preux went up to heavyweight and lost to Ben Rothwell. I'm pausing for a second. Let that sink in. In today's day and age, Ben Rothwell, after his lengthy USADA suspension, coming back looking like garbage, like looking so slow. And Ovince St. Preux should likely be at least several times faster than him. Lost. And now he's back down to light heavyweight. And he's fighting someone that I'm going to say is OSP's kryptonite, someone who comes right across with anger, with power, with just concussive blows over and over again. OSP needs a round and a half to create distance and odd movements and get you in weird spots. And obviously, OSP fights, weird stuff happens. We've talked about that. We've talked about past OSP fights, weird stuff happening. But also, we've seen plenty of OSP fights where a guy with some seriously heavy hands and power come across, put some hands on him, and OSP go night-night. And I think OSP is going night-night. Mike, opinions on OSP versus Alonzo Menifield?
Oh man, if you guys listen to the show for as long as we've been on, every single time that we talk about OSP, it's nothing usually good. OSP is one of those guys who shows up sometimes and then he doesn't show up at all. He shows you something cool and then he don't show up at all. He is never fully in it 110%. Alonzo Menifield is a fucking monster, dude. He has got the body of a Gotti. He is Batman in a suit. He is what OSP wishes that he was. OSP's head is not in the game. He does not like taking damage. Once Alonzo Menifield grabs a hold of him and lays hands on him, OSP is going to do everything in his life to get this fight on the ground. I still think that Menifield's too strong and is going to be able to toss him around, has great cardio. I think Alonzo Menifield is, like you said, his kryptonite. This is why we'll be throwing down the bet ×2. The odds are at negative 135, so we'll be throwing down we're putting down 2.7 units to win 2 units on Alonzo Menifield to whoop OSP's ass.
100%. Like 100%. It's like, I am sorry to OSP. I can't remember the last time I talked about this, but it's like, I'm sorry. I'm going to put this 2 ways. One, Alonzo Menifield has been training at Fortis MMA, which we've been pretty high on. They've had a few bumps recently, but I'm just going to put this for comparison for you. That's in Texas, where gyms have been predominantly open throughout this whole scenario. So he can actually get training, have training partners, get ready. OSP has never, ever trained at a legit MMA gym. He built a camp around himself that basically all they do is teach him like cardio kickboxing and strength and conditioning workouts. He's not at a formal gym. He doesn't have major training partners, and that's been his whole career. And he just has never hit where he could have hit because he doesn't have the training for it. Whereas Alonzo Menifield, that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, I know something's going to have to happen quick because he's 32, but he's got a chance to be quite a bit of a flash in the pan. It's up to him how long that lasts. And this is where it starts right here. So he better go across the cage and put some serious hands on OSP, because if you get OSP backpedaling, you have him for the rest of the fight. He doesn't even need to get the finish. He just has to put some serious hands on him early. And then OSP is going to be on the defensive for at least 2 rounds. And then there's the fight. So obviously weird fluky stuff happens in an OSP fight, but you know what? Not weird enough to keep us away from the bet on Alonzo Menifield. As Mike said, 2.7 units to win 2 at the -135. We will review that at the end as always, but